Good afternoon, and thank you for coming to Deb Chanel's 48th World, where we do recaps and reviews on soap operas as well as reality shows and hauls. Yes, I said hauls. Okay, meaning hauls on different things that I buy, and like-minded people such as myself may like it, and of course, it's coming at an economical, reasonable price. And not trying to pay, top dollar for everything or pay the original price, which is outrageous anyway. So those are the three most things that I cover on my channel. I just started the haul channel. So with that said, we'll get into The Bold and the Beautiful for May 5th, 2016, which aired on a Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, just to give you a little summary about today's episode, we get right on into it. We get with Vivian by her side. Nicole forces Julius to reveal the truth about his past. Then, on the other hand of the episode today, we have Katie. Katie is stunned by the news Ridge has given her, and she continues to bombard him with more questions. Okay. And Katie do a hell of a good job today. I say the award, if we had to give one out, would definitely go to Katie Logan Spencer. Okay? Definitely. Because she was just getting her foots in, her hands messed up, and she was having her ears and eyes wide open and hearing everything perfectly. But anyway, we go on to the first scene of the day. It's at the Foresters' camp. We go right back where we recapped off, where we left. Vivian is being overwhelmed that Nicole is talking to her father the way where she is, and he's talking back to her very sternly also. But Julius is getting on Nicole about how she's speaking to him and the mother, and she don't care, because when he go on and tell what he need to tell, then the mother's gonna see why she's being so rude to her father, and then she's gonna be having some choice words for the negative for him herself. So then we move on to Caroline and Thomas. Thomas is wondering what his son, or I'm sorry, what what is his brother possibly dreaming about, because he's in his little carrier, what do you call it, carrier car seat maybe, and he's pretty much have probably rocked him to sleep in it, and he's wondering why his little brother is dreaming and got a smile on his face and this, that, and that, or what he could be dreaming rather. And then he said, I know what it is. You thinking that your mom and dad are great people and they help take care of you so well and they're going to protect you and this, that, and that. And of course, Caroline is overhearing all of this and seeing it. And she's like, her heart is being melted, as we can, obviously tell from the way she's looking at him, so endearing. And it's kind of choking her up, because she basically don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but on the other hand, she don't want Thomas to be missing out on his son, instead of him calling him his brother, cheating him out of that fatherhood. So we move from there. We go to Katie and Ridge. Ridge is still telling lies on top of lies. Which, when you start with the lie, you got to continually keep up that lie. And it's going to be very exhausting, time consuming, and it's going to frustrate the hell out of you. But he's still trying to do the darn thing and keep her in the dark. So now he done come up with this elaborate lie saying he had a donor. I'm like, come on, Ridge. Come on. So that means you're trying to say Caroline had problems with carrying the baby? Or if you say you had a donor, then wouldn't that be the same thing as you couldn't have kids? I mean, where are you going with this? But anyway, Katie half-heartedly buys into the lie. And she doesn't stop there. And then really the truth just lands right on in her lap. And she has got to try to expose it on hopefully next episode, but I'm not sure when she's going to use that ammunition that she just got. But pretty much the cat is out the bag. with that story of Rich really not being the father of baby Douglas. But we go on back to the Forster's compound, and Vivian is finally told. She's sitting there, been told the truth by her husband, even though he went all the way around the world with his two analogies and trying to compare them to his plight, which has nothing to do with it, and it is very much overwhelming and highly obscene, if you, for lack of a better word to find, that he possibly could think that bowling shoes she bought instead of golf shoes and buying the wrong refrigerator for their house could compare to the lies, deceit, the disloyalty, the cheating, and the possibly talk behind his wife's back could possibly compare to those two excuses or examples he was trying to use. I'm like, is this man crazy? Is he crazy? But he goes in to pretty much tell Vivian what happened. But he was saying, just like those two things that you did with the bowling shoes and buying the wrong refrigerator, that was a mistake. Okay. Now, how is those two items that are definitely not on the same scale as cheating with someone else on your spouse? I mean, what brainwaves he's having? I mean, he's messed up. He needs some mental help, seriously. But anyway, he goes on to say Sasha was a mistake. Instead of him saying he made the mistake, he gonna put that on that older girl who's reflecting back into her childhood, and he just really hurt her. But anyway, we go to a commercial. We come back from the commercial. We're on Thomas and Katie. Katie is comparing himself. Well, no, Thomas is comparing himself to his dad by giving him all these nice accolades that, you know, he has a newfound respect for his dad because his dad is really doing the thing. He did a really good thing by having baby Douglas. Baby Douglas is bringing them all back together and kind of making him think about fatherhood in the same breath. And I'm like, man, don't think too high of your father, honey, because you just might get some news. If not today, maybe next week. Okay, so we move on from that scene. We go to Katie and Ridge. Katie is not still believing him and his take about the paternity of baby Douglas. Ridge says it was a donor. But we just pretty much went over what a donor is. That's pretty much saying if either Caroline having trouble holding the pregnancy or you're having trouble. So don't it all falls back to what the urologist said, that you could not possibly have any kids, and where you come up with talking about you getting a donor from somewhere else, I mean someone else, is still not believable. But Katie, take it as a grain of salt. Y'all make up this, that, and the other, but please. We go to Julius and Vivian again. Vivian says, Sasha was your mistake. Are you kidding me? You trying to call a baby girl that had nothing to do with her being born into this world. That happened with two adult people. Two adult cheating people. Okay? Infidelity is written over all y'all's head. Okay? You two. Meaning Lucy and you. Then she said, you cheated on me. Vivian calls him a liar and says, no, you just wanted to protect yourself. Because, of course, this is during the time that Julius is bawling and carrying on, talking about he did it for her. He had to withhold his, what do you call it? His name. His namesake could not be tarnished for any reason. And he was just weak in one moment. And this, that, and the other. But my thing is, okay, you can possibly get pregnant on one time with a person, like a one-night stand. But to me, it felt like he was having an emotional attachment with this Lucy, as well as coming back for a few more times of her good loving. So I'm like, how are you going to say you took it? Oh, it wasn't, I don't even want to go into it because I just want to slap him upside the head myself with two hard boots. The ones that have the wooden heel to it. But anyway, She wasn't buying it, and she wouldn't even let him touch her when he was trying to reach out and touch her. She was like, "Don't you touch me." And she played her part today, guys. So I'm sorry that you didn't hear it, but trust in my voice and the narration. She wasn't hearing that mess. I mean, if she probably would have tried to get even closer to him, she probably would have floored him. Floored him with a right upper hook. Okay? But we go to commercial. We come back. We at the Forrester Creations Company. We got Thomas and Ridge. Thomas has taken his design to his daddy to review, but Ridge is just staring into space like he's not paying any attention. I'm like, yeah, he's thinking about that lie he just told Katie pretty much, and that all of it is going to come, to fruition. But my whole thing with that, did Ridge actually push that man out in the street? Is that they something they're trying to write in the story, but they didn't let the viewers know that hey, you can't go back and do stuff when you already had him, like he was secure. So I don't know. Any of my followers that watched the Bold and the Beautiful, let me know what you think about that scenario. But anyway, like I said, Rich wasn't paying attention to him, but he ended up saying, yeah, you're doing nice work, make up some more designs, and pretty much he trying to dismiss him out the office. So we go to Katie and Caroline. Katie has already finished up with Ridge. She already got her little this and that on his particular story, but she didn't buy it. Still ain't buying it. But anyway, she goes on, call herself, she need to get a baby fix. Okay, she goes into Caroline's office, and she's looking at the baby and everything, and she's talking, and then she had opened her mouth about saying something about a donor, and she quickly got up and shut the door because she didn't want nobody else to hear since Ridge hadn't told anybody. But honey, she go in there and be telling Caroline, oh honey, your secret's safe with me. Ridge told me all of it. And then she was like, what the hell are you talking about? She said, no, it's the secret's out, but you really don't have, I don't have to tell nobody, you don't have to tell nobody. And she's just still looking at her like she's just really confused, she's perplexed. So we go back to Julius and Vivian, and Vivian said to him, you want me to forgive you. Julius is telling him their marriage was a challenge at the time. And she said, no, boo, you were married to me for 35 years. And you lied all of those 35 years. You're a liar. You're deceitful. I can't stand to look at you, pretty much is what she wanted to say. Then, he was saying he did it for the family and this, that, and that. And he was like, no, you didn't. You did it for yourself. And he was like, I was trying to look out for our good name in the community and the church. And I know if I would have brought out that I had fooled around with this Lucy and stuff, it would have brought so much more shame and aggravation to our family, and I wasn't gonna have that. And she was like, honey, you want to take care of yourself. You want to keep that secret for yourself. And both you and Lucy are just selfish individuals that don't care anything about anyone's life. And you had this girl up in my house doing a lot of Christmas vacations, Halloween celebrations, this, that, and the other. Just everything was had at my house. And then we invited her too. We invited Lucy. So what, did y'all have a good laugh off me or something? Like she's crazy, she a fool, this, that, and that. He was trying to console her, making it seem like no, it was nothing like that. And like I said, he tried to reach out to her. She said, we ain't doing that thing. He said, well, let's go home. When we ain't going nowhere, you finna leave. So I'm guessing she's just gonna spend the night at the Forrester compound. And before it's all over with, honey, they'll probably have her set up in a nice spread of a house. Might be on the beach, okay? But honey, he done lied too much. He done been too arrogant. He made her, as she said, choose sides between the family and it was Myron at the time. Then she turned into Maya. But it was just a whole big deal. And I'm like, you're stressing people out, Julius. You stress me out. And I ain't been looking at the story, but maybe for 2 months now, and you definitely have stressed me out. I want to get a cigarette and smoke, because that's how bad you have gotten on my goddamn nerves, where it's all about you, it's all about what you feel, it's all about how you need to look. And I'm like, you are so lesser than a man. Somebody need to kick him in the ass really quick, fast, in a hurry, because I'm just sick of him. We just gonna move off that, because I'm too much. But let me go back to that for a minute, because after she gets on Sasha for one more last time, and she kind of gets a hold of herself, like this wasn't this baby's fault, you know what I'm saying? And she glad that it happened the way it happened, because they still young adults. But she just embraced both of them. She's just so full of anger, but just having both of them being victims. So really not Nicole, because but she had to go through all that rigmarole of hostility growing up because her daddy wanted things to be this way and that way. And if it wasn't this way, wasn't nobody gonna be happy. When it really should have been, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. But in that household, it's with dad ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So I'm glad he had his life. He had time play and this, that, and that. Because now he going to be paying for the rest of his life. And if I was her, no, I would not go back to him. He would be like dust in the wind. Okay, from dust you came, to dust you will return, honey. But I ain't being by your side. No, infidelity is a big part of, marriage breakup. Then you had the financial piece that he controlled all the money. And then she having the nerve to be up there working. And she still talking about he's supposed to control. Okay, well, I digress because none of that's going to happen. And like I said, he did his own daughter out of the whole morality thing of his morals and values of what, the ideal person should be and do in society. And that is just so bad. I mean, why would you uplift yourself to tear somebody else down on the morals of standing of we got to have this little pretense of what we should be looking like, even though we ain't doing it behind closed doors. Like, get the crap out of him, Julius, and all your ridiculousness. But anyway, we go to Ridge and Thomas. Thomas is saying his drawings are perfect. And then he goes on to say he wants to be a bigger part in Douglas' life, since he's got the seal of approval from his dad with his drawings and his presentation of the new apparel that he's trying to introduce to the Forrester's Creations collection. Now he wants to have the idea of being a father with some woman and have his own little baby, to coo and key over. So, Rich kind of looked at him like he was strange, but he didn't pay him no mind because he was on cloud nine. He's still trying to worry about the information that Katie know, the lies he's still being told, telling people, especially Katie, and he just don't know what to do with himself. He looks confused, if you ask me. But anyway, we go to the last and final scene, which is Caroline. Caroline is asking Katie to elaborate on what she knows about the situation. And she said, oh no, I know. She says, I know everything from, the baby, Dr. Woolen, the blackmail, this, that, and that. And it just goes on and on. Then she was like, whew, I'm just so glad. I don't know why Rich told you, because he was saying he wasn't going to tell nobody. But okay, he told you. Well, that's glad. I'm glad you know that Thomas is the father. She looked at her like, what you say, honey? And then it's like she knows she had misspoke, because no, Bridge did not even give her the ideal of knowing who the baby was, the father wasn't per se, but she just had so much correct information. I could see how Caroline would have gotten confused with how Katie was talking. So once she said that and she got Katie's response and her facial expression, she knew she had let the cat out of the bag, and Katie did not know. Okay, but Katie wasn't fishing either. She just really believed some wholeheartedly that Rich was telling the truth to her this time. But again, we know Bridge is just a liar. When she going back to Paris, all but take his tail between his tail between his legs, and get the hell out of Los Angeles and go back to Paris International or wherever he need to be, because he doesn't fit the part of Ridge. I like the old Ridge, and I don't think they ever would have had a chance to play up the part between him going with somebody his daughter's age. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. But yes, we just got the unfolding of Julius cheating and his infidelity. Now we finna get to the part of the unveiling of somebody gonna have to tell Thomas, and I hope it's Katie. At least that's what me and my aunt said. Katie gonna go on there and tell her nephew what's really going on, since Rich has no type of compassion, and he's still up there lying, even when Katie was like, tell me the truth. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't to be trusted anymore either. So y'all, I'm like, I was all him for it. I had to go out and cut grass today, so I had to actually tape it and look at it after I cut my grass, and now I'm so sore. Woo, I'm sore from my head. Well, really, it's just lower body. It's just lower body pain I'm going through. But I had to get this out to you all, and then I'm going to try to drop that Young and the Restless in a few minutes once I get me a little slideshow going on, see what I want to show y'all in this instance. But honey, Bold and the Beautiful was hot, hot, hot. Okay, and all our little stories are unfolding, people learning the truth about this, that, and that, and the other. And I can't wait to see when we unfold some truth when it comes to over there with Liam. Like, what is he gonna do with Miss Quinn? You hear what I'm saying? Because he showed him put her in jail like he said he wanted her to be. And I wonder why. Could she be pregnant or what? Anyway, that was the young and the rest. I'm sorry, that was the Bold and the Beautiful for Thursday. Again, that was the Bold and the Beautiful for Thursday, May 5th, 2016. All right, guys. Now let me go on and work on my Young and the Restless so I can get it for my gifts of gabs in case they're liking that story as well. But I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same channel, same coverage on the Bold and the Beautiful that airs on my time, which is Eastern Standard Time at 1:30. So hopefully y'all will have it by 3. All right, guys. Y'all take care. Have a good evening, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.